Okay, cool. So we're on.
Yep.
So this is Michael Cardwell from Digital Brew, and I'm Brett Burky. I'm a professor here over in the Internet Marketing degree. Teach SEO and AdWords and affiliate marketing. So we're gonna have a fun conversation and learn about how to build a funnel for your marketing business. And I'm gonna turn it over for you to kind of give an intro.
Okay, great. Yeah, so I'm Michael Cardwell. I'm a film grad and entertainment business grad. I graduated film in 2004 and graduated entertainment business in 2005. In 2011, I started my own company called Digital Brew. I started in the spare bedroom of my house, just kind of by myself. Now I have a staff of 10 full-time people, probably about 10 contractors that we use on a regular basis. I have an office right near downtown Orlando in the Mills 50 area. We do live action and animated video content for businesses, just purely marketing content. When we first started the business, we did mostly live action stuff like testimonials and documentary format brand stories and stuff like that. And as the business evolved, well, at first we were just using animation to do logo animations and lower thirds and stuff like that for our live action content. Then we did a couple fully animated videos and realized, hey, we're pretty good at this. But we needed people to know about that we were good at it. And that's kind of the biggest thing in business is if no one knows who you are, the phone's not going to ring. You know, they're not just going to somehow magically find you. Because we found we were good at animation, we started marketing for that, and we started using AdWords. And now 100% of our new business that's not new cold business that's not a referral or something like that comes from AdWords. So I wanted to share with you guys today a little bit about how we use it. A lot of the other companies here, or some of these Hall of Famer people that are here, like for example Nathaniel Howe. I don't know if you guys have heard from him at all, but he works with a lot of really big what's the word, like Fox and stuff like that. And so when he gets business, he does a pitch. He goes with a bunch of other companies like his, and they do a pitch like, this is our idea, please pick ours. It's a little bit more complicated than that, but he's competing with other people, and he puts a lot of money into doing these pitches, and sometimes they don't win them, and they don't get paid for all that work that they did. I've never done a pitch. That's not to say that I don't want to. I just didn't go that route, and instead we've been using AdWords to generate business, and it's been working really, really well. Like I said, if it wasn't for that, we'd probably, not sure how we would get new business, to be honest with you.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So what was the first decision to decide to go, you know what, we got to figure something out, and how did you jump in? Where'd you get started?
Yeah, so, well, when I started my business, I'm not a business guy. I'm a video filmmaker and animator. So I don't really know much about business. And if you guys want to start a business, I would recommend having a mentor, which is what I did. I got a friend that helped me, another business owner that gave me tips and guidance about how to get my business going with marketing and sales and all these things. As a creative person, you just kind of want to leave over here and not look at it all. But are really important for your business. So he helped me a lot to advise me on what to do. And I had one big client that was giving us a ton of work and a lot of referrals. Nice. And yeah, it was awesome. And then it dried up, And so I had to figure out a new way to get business because it wasn't just getting handed to me anymore. So then I thought, well, okay, let's give this AdWords thing a shot. And the first time we tried AdWords is a complete failure. I decided I wanted to spend $1,500 a month, which, as you know, is really not a lot.
That's real. You can learn on a lot.
Yeah. So I decided to spend $1,500 a month. So I said, let's set the way AdWords works is you've set a daily budget of how much you want to spend each day. And I was going to advertise for animated videos. And before you do your AdWords campaign, you want to do a bunch of research about what the keywords are that people are searching for about your stuff. So for us, animated videos are also referred to as explainer videos, animated business video, all the different possible combinations that people might be searching for. And when someone clicks on when someone searches, let's say, explainer video, it'll come up in Google, and when you search in Google, at the top of the Google search, it says ad next to it. That's what AdWords is. So people pay to have it at the top of the list. So when someone searches explainer videos, they click on my link. It costs me $20 every time they do that. So when I set my budget at $50 a day, once your budget is gone, your ad disappears. So after like 2 clicks, I was done. I didn't get any. No one else saw it for the rest of the day. So what that equated to was I got 1 lead over the whole month, and I also set the campaign to run over the entire country.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was a big mistake. Yeah. So I was like, okay, I don't know. I have to try something else here. So I had a company that we were using that was managing it, and I asked him what we should do, and he's like, dude, just raise the budget. So I was like, all right, $1,500 a month. All right, I'm gonna do $300 a day for like 6 days, and see what happens.
It's a lot.
Yeah, and so then I got like 8 calls, and I closed one of them like 6 months or like 3 months later, but most of them I didn't close. I didn't get the business, so I was like, crap. Well, you know what? AdWords just sucks. Like this is not gonna work out. So I just stopped doing it, and then the phone was not ringing for a long time, and for a couple more months, and I was like trying to figure out what to do. I was like, all right, we gotta try this AdWords thing again. So this time we did it by city.
Smart.
Yeah. So like now our ads run in every major city in the United States. Just like every big city you could possibly think of. So like in Ocala, no one's gonna see our ad because who cares? Like no one's gonna buy our stuff that lives in Ocala. So that same $1,500 a month budget lasted us the whole week. We set it to like $100 a day or whatever. It lasted the whole month, and we got probably like 20 leads and started closing a couple a month. So you can spend the same amount of money and just do it differently and get better results. So if you're going to do AdWords, I recommend doing it in different by city. Which that.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, especially if you're nationwide, and yeah, that's probably the best thing to do.
Yep. And also in California, we run an ad for the whole state of California because there's so many other cities, little cities there that aren't, in LA or whatever, that still have a lot of big companies there. And so those are our 2 campaigns, is every major city and one in California, and those are both perform really, really well for us.
That's interesting. So. Yeah, that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so how long till you started, like now, how do you manage the budget? So it's like you're like, okay, I figured out AdWords, I've got my search campaign, I got my keywords that are converting, now what? You just like let it roll, or are you ready to pull
No, yeah, so I tried some other things, like motion graphics was another thing, like keyword ad group that I made with a bunch of things like animation studio, motion graphics studio, a bunch of stuff with motion graphics. And I found that a lot of people that were searching those keywords were like students and like, or just artists and stuff that like they're clicking on our ad and I'm paying them. I mean, they were cheaper. They were like $5, but still I was spending like a lot of
bucks.
It adds up, So I tested that and turned that off. Now I just kind of like, I have the problem is the price keeps going up, so that I have to spend about $5,000 a month now to get the same amount of leads that I was getting for $1,500 a month like a year ago.
Have you turned on any negative keywords and done any of that type of stuff?
No, I don't.
No. Yeah, because I mean that will cut, especially if you still have it on broad. You can cut it down a little bit if you put negative keywords, because a lot of times I found that you run into the same things you're talking about, where people that aren't your target market are searching for you. So I used to manage an account for a modeling agency, and I always was wondering why I'd get so many clicks on like Friday afternoon, Friday night. And what I realized, it wasn't people that were modeling agents looking for, it was just other people looking at models on the website. So I learned how to day part it to turn it off and make certain keywords negative keywords, so we'd never show up in the list, because I didn't want people, because they're wasting your money.
Yeah.
Basically, people will click on an ad and it's like, that always drives me nuts too. And it's like, I'm looking over someone's shoulder and we're like looking at like insurance or something. I'm like, oh, did they click the first ad? I'm like, oh dang, that was like $50.
I know.
They just click right back out of it. I'm like, Don't do that.
I
Like,
know.
just look at it and then search it. If you're not sure that you're going to spend $50, don't click on it.
I don't click on those anymore either now. Like,
My buddy, he's like, he has an ad, and I was like, I keep seeing your ad. He's like, is that you that's clicking on my ad? I'm like, no, I promise, I'm not clicking on your ad. I'm not clicking on your ads, but I see it. I'm just not clicking.
yeah, they're not cheap, man.
They're not.
Yeah.
It's only getting more expensive, especially, it's like, but like optimizing the campaigns, a lot of times you can get it down cheaper, and that's a lot of what we were talking about before with, you were talking more along the ads, and so there's like their ad score, so you can get a better ad score, and kind of how, allow me to nerd out for a second, how Google views your ads, like when you pay more. The reason why is that if you're paying, if I'm willing to pay $5 and you're paying $1, but you get 10 clicks and I only get 1, Google's going to run you 20 times more because you just made them $10 and I only made them $5. So if I have crappy ads and I don't get a click, over a couple of days, they'll raise my price to where I'm like $10 a click, and now you're 50 cents a click. And the reason is because you're getting 20 clicks and making them more money, although I pay more.
Yeah.
So that's one of those things that, with the ads and changing the ads. And so how do you change your ads?
So that's a good. Well, I guess another thing I would say is like all the stuff you just talked about, I actually don't know that stuff. So if when you start your own business, you want to hire somebody like this guy that can help you, advise you about how to actually run this stuff, which is how I learned the basic stuff that I did. But the ad. So then the kind of the next phase of this is in my simplified version of AdWords is I looked at all of the ads that other people were running for explainer videos, which is like the thing that we sell, which is just a business term for animated video. And almost all the other people that were in the AdWords were selling their videos for like $1,000, unlimited revisions, unlimited everything, like just $500 or whatever, like super dirt cheap. Mm-hmm. So like, okay, how do we compete with those guys? So in our ad, we put like, don't waste money on bad explainer videos. So like when they go and see like these other cheap ones, they see, or it says like Emmy award winning production company or something. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like the people that want the cheap ones, they'll click on those. Fine, we don't want them anyway. Mm-hmm. But the people that want the good ones, they're gonna click on ours because we kind of separated ourselves that way.
That's smart. Yeah.
And those are the ones that perform the best too.
I would imagine, because people who actually know that this is not going to be cheap. Anybody who knows what an explainer video actually costs, knows this. We've done one, and it's just like, man, 30 seconds. Gosh, just like $1,000 a second or something. It did get expensive.
Yeah.
I was watching one today, and I was like, that's probably, you can judge kind of like, oh, that's probably $50,000 or something like that for a video.
Well, we're a little bit less than that, but still.
All expensive. That's very That's interesting. So, and have you made use of like the site links and doing things like that with your ads and like?
Well, once people click on our ad, like this is another thing that I looked at is that like the other companies, some of them when you click on their ad, it just goes to like their website homepage. Okay, that's not good because there's no way for them to quickly contact you, and that's what you want them to do. You're paying for them to go to your website, so you wanted to make it very easy for them to give you their information. If you take them to their homepage, they have to click around to contact you and all this stuff. You're just wasting money. So when they click your ad, it should go to a dedicated landing page that is just not part of your site. It's just like its own page. And if they're searching for explainer videos, the headline on our landing page says, "Kick the competition to a curb with a killer explainer video." And then our video is right next to that. And underneath that is an opt-in form with just their first name and email. If they search animated videos, we have a different landing page that says, "Kick the competition to the curb with a killer animated video." So you want to make sure that like the experience for them is the same, and you're not just having like explainer videos on all of them if they didn't search for that. And we found when we did do that at first and wasn't converting as well, but we made dedicated pages that kind of
smart.
We converted a lot better. And at first we used to make them require like all this information, tell us about your project, your phone number, blah, blah, blah. No one filled it out. So then we just changed it to, You put your first name and your email, and then it says get a video, and they click on that button. Then after that, it takes them automatically. Now the whole point of all this stuff is we need to get them on the phone, because you can't. It's very hard to close someone over the internet to get them to buy your stuff, especially when it's like a $10,000 or $20,000 project, that's our range is around there. So you want to get them on the phone and talk to them, and you have to build up the value of why they should go with you and stuff like that. So you got to get there, but you got to get them to give you their phone number to do that. So like I said, when we had the phone number at first, no one filled it in. But now when we do name and email, they click submit. It takes them to another page that says, all right, let's schedule a call. And it connects to this app called Calendly. And Calendly allows you to, if you guys haven't heard of that, it connects to our sales guy's calendar. And if you're the customer and you want to order a video, you can just click on a time that works for you based on his availability. So if he's booked like from 2 to 3 today, it won't show that it'll show that as unavailable. You can just pick whatever time that works for you. And all the sales guy does is look at his calendar. When a new lead pops up, he knows he has to call them. And at that point, they have to put in their phone number and stuff. And I don't know if there's some psychology to this or something, but at that point, they're more likely to give you their phone number after they already gave you a little piece of information. They're more likely to give you more. Where if you ask for all up front, they won't do it.
Yeah, that's I don't know if you've ever seen. Some people still probably get these in the mail. You'll see like what's called long form sales letters, where it's like 5 pages, and you're like, who reads this crap? But you realize that people do because they keep sending them. Or the videos that won't let you click away, and you're like, just how much is it? What's the price? It's called time and you've engaged so much time into the actual process that you're like, oh, well, I might as well just finish it now. And that's the same idea if you do like the micro conversion of what's your name and your email? You're like, I can do that, name, email. And the next form you're like, okay, what's my address? Okay. And you click and you think you're done, and it's like, okay.
Schedule a call.
Next thing you know, it's 10 minutes in, you're like, I gotta finish it now. I've already. It's like a psychology play of like, hey, you just bought this tool. You're like, I made a good investment. I spent $500 on this tool. And you're like, would you like to add the thing that makes that go faster? And you're like, no, I wouldn't want to go faster with my tool. I wouldn't want to make it better. It's a psychology play in the same idea that they have to doubt their own decision, that they just put their time in, and if they doubt their decision, it makes them feel dumb. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
That's kind of like the psychology of that whole thing.
Yeah, it works really great. And so that's kind of, yeah. So then once they schedule the call, then I have a sales guy that gets on the phone with them, and we have a presentation that he runs through, and we use an app called Pandadoc, if any of you guys were in here for that last presentation. So we use that for proposals, and we also use it for our sales presentation. So when he's on the phone with them, he'll say, all right, I'm going to send you this Pandadoc, and we're going to go over everything. And when you're, like I said, when you're selling your stuff, you got to build up the value of why they should go with you. And if you can make the value higher than the price, then there's really no reason why they won't buy. You know, if the value is less than the price, then they probably won't buy from you. Even like if I said, like, this is just a regular cup of coffee, it's like $3. If I told you this was the cup of coffee, the last cup of coffee Michael Jackson drank before he died, I could sell this for $1,000. You know, it's the same exact thing, but I built up the value. You know, so it's kind of a simple example, but
I don't know what's in it though.
Well, not like that. Not like anyway. That was a bad example, but you know what I mean. Like I said, this coffee came from wherever the mountains of Peru, and these natives picked it or something like that. I can sell it for $20. You know, so. So the whole purpose of the sales call is for him to build up the value, answer their questions, handle their objections, and Pandadoc is a great tool for that, because I used to just do it just talking on the phone, like I'm doing just verbally and with no visual aids, and I wasn't closing very well. And we started using the visuals and going through the whole process and everything, we're closing a lot better.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So do you have a pre-screening like evaluation for some guys that are like before that like you've talked to them for 45 minutes and you're like, by the way, it's $20,000. It's like, oh, I thought it was gonna be like $20. It's like,
yeah.
Is there a way that you evaluate somebody before you waste a lot of time into the process?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so he gets on the phone with them and talks to them for just probably like 5 or 10 minutes, and then he'll say like, our prices are between $8,000 and $25,000 on average.
And he's just dead quiet.
Yeah, where would you like to start?
Yeah. click.
Yeah.
The people that weren't qualified are out at that point. Yeah.
Yeah, some people are like, oh, I only had $1,000. He's like, oh, okay, no problem. We refer you to this company.
That's smart.
And then that happens a lot, quite a bit. But yeah, that's early in the conversation, so you don't waste a lot of time.
Smart.
Yeah. But then he has example videos, because when you're selling videos, it's kind of like you could spend millions of dollars on a video, like if they wanted to make it look really cool, but so we have these different examples of like what a $25,000 video looks like, what an $8,000 video looks like, and a lot of times they're at the 8, to be honest with you. So we kind of have to start there, and he tries to, push them up to the next level. But
so another thing in terms of sales, does your guy I know there's like the features benefit thing that people a lot of times I find like salespeople will get this wrong. They'll try to sell all the features and tell you why this widget's so cool, and like we shoot on a camera that's I don't know anything about cameras, but it's, whatever, and we use Adobe this. What is it? Yeah. On a red, and we have all these cool tools, and the guy on the other line's like, I don't have a clue what the heck you're saying. So like it's one of those things is your guy so like based off these are the benefits. This is how your audience will react to it. This is that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and we got a lot of case studies that he uses. Smart. Examples like so and so got increased conversions by 50% or
that's
something.
All they want to hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It depends on the person, because if a production company calls us,
oh, that's different.
They want to know if we got a red,
Mm-hmm.
But actually, our sales guy doesn't really. Those are the ones that I kind of have to take, because he's more knows the business side, and most of our customers are like just business people that don't care about what camera you have. They just want to know if it's going to make them more money.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's usually what it boils down to is you can tell them, like I've done before, like these are the great keywords that are converting. You're like, well, how much money did that bring? All right, then this whole other part of the reports and this information is invalid now, and here's the only thing you want to see, and this meeting's over. So this is how much we've made or how much we didn't make, and so it's always boils down to cost a lot of times. And yeah, that's interesting.
There's another thing I forgot about the whole kind of flow, the customer journey, I guess, of when they're clicking on the AdWords. So when someone clicks on the AdWords, go to the landing page, they fill out the form on our page, and then they also get put into a thing called Drip, which is like what is that? Like a
marketing automation.
Yeah, marketing automation tool. So what happens with that is it sends automated emails, and probably you guys have gotten these before in your life, but so if they don't schedule a call, it takes them down one chain of emails. And if they do schedule a call, it takes them down another chain. So if they don't schedule, say, hey, I noticed you filled out the form on this page. We'd love to work with, I don't know exactly what it says, but we'd love to work with you. And so schedule a call here. And then in 2 days, it'll send them another email and say, hey, this customer we worked with got these results from their video, schedule a call. And then the third one's like, all right, this is kind of the last time we're going to contact you. We'd love to help you schedule a call. I don't know exactly what to say because the marketing people write that stuff, but it's what's cool about it is that like not everyone gets the same emails. So someone did schedule a call, they won't get that being bugged about scheduling a call. It'll just have more stuff about value, about like here's some results we've gotten, here's some other videos we've done for these big brands, and that kind of thing.
Do you ever what do you do with the leads that just go nowhere? Do you just toss them and clean your list every so often?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
It's always a bummer.
I know. We were looking at it last night, and our list is very small. Like we have like 2,100 people on our list, and 1,300 of them hadn't checked the last 10 newsletters and opened any of the last 10 communications that we sent. So I was like,
I mean, it's like I always say this to people that when we're trying to work with things like that, it's like it's better to have 100 engaged people than 10,000 people that don't even really care.
Yeah.
It's also, what is happening is if you're sending from your domain, Digital Brew, that's kind of where your email is going to be coming from because it'll be your name at Digital Brew. It starts to make your IP, your domain name with your email provider Drip. It'll start to, it's like there's a quality score to it. And if like half the people aren't opening your emails, they start to go, why is this guy's emails not being open? Is he sending spam? So you start to get thrown on these different radars. So it's always good to purge every so often. We have it worked in where if they haven't opened an email within this certain amount of time, they go over into this bucket and they don't get anything, that's when you want to do some kind of partnership deal with maybe like an education person says, hey, this guy teaches how to do motion graphics. You can send to this list and see if it works for you.
Yeah.
If you want to do that, you know,
Yeah,
it's wasted money. You know, if it's costing you $10 per click, if they haven't
20.
opened 20,
Yeah.
$20. So if you got 1,200 people, wow. Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're looking at money and you're like, well, what can I do with it? Find somebody that's like that wants to maybe do the lower tier and say, we'll send to our lower tier for $1,000, and you can send to that lower tier. Maybe they might pick up 2 or 3 clients that way. And
Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, we were just about to
recycling the
delete
goods.
them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always hesitant to delete stuff. You know, I keep lists and, you know, keep it, you know, going for a while, and then, yeah, I never really delete it. It's always somewhere, just not an active list. But yeah, so I guess we're down to 10 minutes. I want to know if there's any questions on the crowd. And
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Pandadoc is well, they market it as a proposal software. So like like I said, we don't do pitches in my company, which means we do a lot of proposals. And so I was doing them in InDesign before, and it took like 2 hours to do one, even though I was working off of a template that I had made. If I put a video in there, because we're selling videos, they'd have to click out of the proposal and go onto the internet, and then they might get lost in some other thing on the internet and not in my proposal. So Pandadoc has videos that play right in the proposal. I can create as many templates as I want, and it auto fills out the company's name wherever I want it. I only have to change like a couple of things, like the dollar amount and the length of the video, pretty much. And so it takes me about 10 minutes now to make a proposal. Now, what we figured out on our own was that we were going to create a landing page for the sales guy to use on the sales calls to go over all the process, you know, what a mood board looks like, what style frames look like, storyboards, the script, you know, voiceover, all that stuff. And we didn't have the money to make a landing page, so we made it in Pandadoc. And so then he sends them a Pandadoc link so that he can look at it with them together. Another really cool thing about Pandadoc too is that it does tracking. So like before I'd send a proposal out, you don't hear back from the person. It's like, you don't know if they got it or if they looked at it or what. With Pandadoc, it sends you an email, hey, so-and-so opened your proposal. And then they don't know that I got notified about it. And then I can go in there and I can see how long they spent on each page also, you know. And I can chat with them right in there. So if I want to follow up with them, I can just send a note right inside of Pandadoc. And when they reply, they'll be back in the proposal, which is where I want them, you know. And then we also use it for our agreements too, because you can do signed documents in there. And we were using Adobe EchoSign for that before. Just having it all in one hub has been awesome. Like that application has like saved us so much time, dude. Yeah.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay.
Lost it. Oh yeah, give me 1 second.
Yeah, we got a question up here.
Hi, thanks
Hi.
for being here and sharing all this information with us today.
You're welcome.
So I wanted to know what your ad budget is now for AdWords, because you mentioned you started at 1,500 and you've like changed it around. What is it currently now?
My budget is set to, I think, $200 a day for my explainer campaign and $100 a day for the California one, which is kind of the same keywords, but just in all of this whole state. And I end up spending and I run it Monday through Thursday, so I don't run it on Friday because I wasn't getting a lot of leads then. So, and I spent it differs every month, but between $4,000 and $6,000 a month. So kind of a lot more than 1,500, but you know, if I didn't do that, I wouldn't get business. Like that's why I wanted to share this with you guys. If anyone wants to start your own company, like it can be a really powerful tool, but you want to hire somebody like him to help you because it's hard. It's very complicated too, you know. So anyway, did that answer your question? Okay.
I have another question.
Okay.
How was it very difficult doing the research, finding the keywords that people are using to look for your business?
Can you? I actually don't know the answer to that because I pay a marketing person that does that. So I think Brett can maybe answer that one a bit better.
It's not hard. I mean, so like, there's a couple tools out there called, well, I mean, you can go to Google and type in whatever. Just remember the caveat, Google's goal is to make you spend money. So no matter what, whatever you think, they'll supply you. If they're like, if it was his niche, motion graphics, they might want you to bid on motion, and someone's looking for something for their science project. It's like they just want you to waste all your money. That's what they want you to do. So the best thing to do is go to tools. There's SEMrush, like SEMrush, or SpyFu. And what you're trying to do is that you're trying to research your competitors that have been in the market for a long time. Because either, if they've been in the market for a long time spending a large budget, either they like wasting money or there's something that's working. And so a lot of times I will watch those people, and I have tools to see if they have tracking installed or conversions installed. Because I know if they've been spending money for more than a year or two, and they have conversion tracking installed, that whatever keywords those guys got is what I want to take. And so with this tool, I can basically just take all their keywords. So it's great for me because I go into niches and industries I don't know anything about, and then I come out like, wow, this guy knows all about our industry. I'm like, no, I just know how to borrow other people's stuff. And so those are the two tools, and SEMrush or SpyFu, and you can get, basically just put in your competitors. You can even do something even cooler. You put in all your competitors' domain, and it will pull back all their keywords and then make a Venn diagram. And the Venn diagram will show what all your competitors share. So if you know that all your competitors are bidding on these 10 keywords, you better be bidding on those 10 keywords too. And so that's what I would do.
Thank you very much. That's really helpful.
We used SEMrush too.
You did?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. I actually have a question from Chloe Walton. She's an internet marketing online student. She would like to know if Google AdWords Express is good for people who are just starting out.
I wouldn't use it. Okay. Tell Chloe I said hi. Yeah. So no. So they have two different types. They have AdWords and they have AdWords Express, and then they push AdWords Express when you first sign up. And what I would tell Chloe to do is just pick up the phone and call 1-888-4GOOG, and that will reach you to the AdWords team and tell them to turn it off. You can turn it off in the top right. There's a little drop down. But it's a pain. The whole reason they want you to use it is because they do what I was saying before. They want you to bid on garbage keywords and make your site broad-based. So if someone types in like motion, so like if I was to type in the motion of the ocean is like this, whatever, and I was bidding on motion, now if I have it based broad, I'd be showing up for that keyword. Although I don't want to show up for the motion of the ocean. I just want to show up for motion graphics. So they in that sense, they keep everything broad, which means that bring it all. Instead, you want to be exact, which is where you put the braces around it. Say, I just want motion graphics. When people type in motion graphics in Orlando, that's all I want. And the Express, they push you to do the, they basically just want to take all your money. So, hopefully AdWords isn't watching this or Google's not watching. My phone's turned off, so they're not listening to me. So that's cool. Yeah. Any other questions?
Well, I had the AdWords Express question, but I guess you already answered that. And then a follow-up would be for smaller industries that don't really have the budget or smaller businesses that don't have the budget to run an effective AdWords campaign, now that there's like targeted Facebook ads out there, how do you feel about that with so much attention being on Facebook versus Google? And like, how do you figure out what businesses you want to run an AdWords campaign against, or traditional print marketing or TV commercials or anything like that, I guess?
I mean, I always start search-based. Because search is intent. So people think, oh, run Facebook. Facebook's really hard. Because, Facebook, you think about it, if you're running cold traffic, means that they don't know who you are, and you're showing back in their newsfeed, and you're paying for impressions, meaning they just saw you with their eyeballs, but that counts as a view. You're going to blow through a budget fast. And so I would say the best way to do it, and this is the whole strategy, is start a search campaign, because that person's going, I'm going to Google because I got a problem that I wanted to solve. And if you show up there, if they click on your ad and then they see your page, but they don't convert, you can throw a remarketing tag which means that you can follow them around the internet. And then they can be on some other website and see you in the corner and go, oh, yeah, I saw that guy. And then they can be on Facebook and, oh, yeah, I saw that guy. And so what happens is it's they say it used to be 7 points of contact where someone became familiar. Now it's, because there's so much content, it's like 15 to 17 points of contact. So for a small budget, the best thing to do is first find out the exact keywords and do search. And that will be, and then get some conversions, know what's converting, and then expand from there. That's the best way.
We tried Facebook too, and we've tried it a lot of different ways and we didn't get any. I don't think we got any business from it.
It's tough.
Yeah.
Cold Facebook marketing is really tough.
Yeah. Even targeted, and only people with certain like job titles and stuff like that, like is what we did on Facebook, and other targeting, criteria, and still like we I don't know. I don't know if this is true or not, but kind of my theory is that if you're selling a $10,000 to $20,000 video, it's harder to sell it on Facebook. Or if you're selling like sunglasses or something, I think it'd probably be a little bit easier, So it kind of depends on what you're selling, I think.
You can always warm them up too, though. They do things called lead magnets. So if it's in your
Yeah, we do that.
say
too,
like
yeah.
instead of like trying to go straight for the jugular and get a $20,000 sale, you say, learn how to evaluate motion graphics companies to know that you're not getting ripped off, and provide that as like a PDF or something they can read. And then they start to go, oh, I've seen that guy before. I trust him a little bit, and you can kind of build it, but it's still that takes a lot of money because you're not getting them straight sale. So
I like the straight sales better.
straight sales are best, especially, but sometimes it's hard. And that's
I know,
how
yeah.
it's played.
Yeah.
So I think that.
Do we get the signal?
I don't know. Yeah, I think we're done.
Yep.
All right, so that's it. I guess we're wrapping up. I
Yeah.
appreciate your time.
Thank you, guys.